Stick around to the end to have a teaser for the next episode of I Shouldn't Know. Ivor the Engine did well, especially for a start to the series, but today we're going further back, as I said, right to the 1930s, where the world was depressed but one lady and a couple companions stood tall and made the world sing once more. So strap in and let's discuss Betty Boop, and why I like it. Two styles, rotoscope and rubber hose, both have their heavy influence within episodes of the show, such as the famous ghost walrus from the episode Minnie the Moocher and when Coco the Clown in Snow White became a ghost. And rubber hosing for the mainline style to animate with, such as movements of characters moving their arms or even having a character stand idle alongside looping animations. Obviously, you have the main gal herself, Betty Boop. You may have also realised that I mentioned earlier Coco the Clown and Bimbo the dog. These are other characters, but there are also others, but these three are the most consistent. Let's talk about them. Betty Boop, a cult classic. People see her and realise how much of an icon she is, a unique design with a certain set of clothes, and almost anyone who knows her can identify her. She was first introduced in Dizzy Dishes, a Talkatoon series by Fleischer Studios. I don't know how you pronounce it. Her design back then is heavily different to how it is now. Back then she had floppy ears, a button-like nose as if she were an animal instead. The clown that became famous and then became Coco, the standing figure for rotoscoping for future animations. This clown was Max Fleischer's brother Dave, who performed at the Coney Island Steeplechase amusement park. Yes, this is off the official page. However, the animation was spectacular, an ingenious idea to record his brother doing constant acts of paper, acting alive around a fly attempting to get rid of it. This animation is as smooth as ever, realizing that this technique would be revolutionary, giving more depth of the movements that the character presents themselves, feeling like it's coming alive. Bimbo the dog replaces Coco's dog Fitz, and he becomes a staple, but not for long, according to the production code's censorship laws, since an anthropomorphic dog with a human love interest was considered too risque during the time. Now, let's talk about some of my favourite episodes. Some of these may not come as a surprise due to them being their most popular by the modern age. They are as follows: Minnie the Moocher, Snow White, I'll Be Glad When You're Dead, You Rascal You, and Red Hot Mama. Minnie the Moocher is a story of Betty being shouted at by her parents for not wanting to eat some horrid food. She runs away with Bimbo, a scary afternoon as they hide in a tree, to be greeted by a dancing walrus, who sings about a woman who got everything she wanted but wasn't grateful for it all. The walrus's movements and singing are done by the legendary Cab Calloway. Other spirits join the roster and scare Betty and Bimbo away home. She learned her lesson. Snow White is based on the story of Snow White. Sent to her death by her stepmother, she is placed in a frozen casket after escaping her death by the help of her friends. She is found by the 7 dwarves who carry her away to bury her properly. Coco sings once more, performed once more by Cab Calloway with the song St. James Infirmary Blues. She is rescued by Bimbo and Coco, who manage to escape the stepmother, who gets transformed by the magic mirror. I'll Be Glad When You're Dead, You Rascal You is an adventure where Betty Boop is taken by a cannibal tribe, alongside Coco and Bimbo, who were separated. They run away, and a spirit looms over them, performed by another legend, Louis Armstrong. The pair, being Coco and Bimbo, are separated from each other until Bimbo returns and takes out the cannibal chasing them. They find Betty eventually in the cannibal village and free her with a porcupine. Red Hot Mama is a short episode where Betty Boop is suffering the winter period, where it's freezing cold. I think this is based off one of the hardest blizzards of New York back in the same year. Betty closes the windows and sets up a fire, making it blisteringly hot. That it cooks chickens, melts candles, and even has the thermostat trying to cool down. It eventually dissolves and Betty enters hell, where it keeps getting hotter and hotter, even sent by the devil, making it even more. And this is also in the same world where fire engines actually spew fire at the houses to try and heat people up even more. She eventually wakes back up and the snow gets worse, even breaking down her door, which forces Betty to sleep once more under a bunch of blankets. I like these episodes because they're quite unique. They're all interesting in their own little way. Sure, you could say some of them are very poorly aged, but at the same time, they're still enjoyable. They're still unique, and they still have this like whole flair. And without knowing like this entire like era of animation, or even Betty Boop's series in general, I would have never found a love for Cab Calloway like I do now, and I kind of wish that I knew about it earlier. I was aware of Betty Boop. I had a friend who was obsessed with it, and her role icon. But when I started watching the episodes, I could understand why. It is so entertaining, and I think it's even more entertaining than most shows today. The characters are witty, the show is funny, it has more emotion within the animation rather than relying on these cheap rigs. It's an entertaining series, and I believe that anyone should watch it, and I think that they could find just as much entertainment as I have. Thank you for watching. Sorry if this video was a bit too quick or isn't as high end as some of you may have expected, but I'm glad that I made it. I'm trying to change around how I make these videos, seeing if I could try and shorten it down, not only by speaking faster, but at the cost of saying more information. But if you like what you saw, consider liking or subscribing or even commenting if you have any suggestions on how I make these. But that's about it. My name is Arji, and I'll see you next time. Here is the teaser. The green flash in the sky. His demons were here all along, in our hearts and souls, just waiting for a sign from him. And now they're destroying our world. It is I who fail. After all my promises, I couldn't help the people when they needed me. The voice of the devil is heard in our land.